Welcome, Hornets, and thank you for joining me today. We're taking a look at the fundamental theorem of calculus number 2. This is where we're trying to find capital F prime of x and having a change in variables from t to x. Ultimately, we are constructing the chain rule and using the information given. So let's go ahead and take a look. Be aware, this is the worksheet. If you want to take a moment to get a screenshot, I am going to be doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 right now. Alrighty, let's take a look at number 2, please. First thing to be aware of is we have a very basic x right here. Now the process that we're dealing with is first integrating from 2 to x, and then we are taking the derivative in terms of x. This is going to cause the number at the bottom, that constant, to go away. Now, if they had another variable down there, we would have no choice but to do the integration followed by the differentiation, and it is a much more difficult process. The AP test does not, or rarely does this, and the CP calculus class, we do not. So please be aware. Let's go ahead and take a look then at number 1. We're going to take away the t value, and in place, we are going to be putting the x, or the value that's up here, often referred to as the g of x. We're then going to multiply by the derivative of that g of x. Now in this case, the derivative is 1, so when we put in our x, we end up simply getting negative x squared plus 8x minus 14. Once again, these are the easiest of the fundamental theorem of calculus number 2. Let's go to number 4. Once again, we're going to take away the t, and in place of that t, we are going to put the x, and then multiply by the derivative of the x. We end up getting x minus 1. Let's take a look at number 6. Now, number 6, we start to change things up a little bit. We now have an x cubed. We know the derivative of x cubed is 3x squared. So I'm going to end up with negative 15x squared, and in place I put the x cubed plus 2 cubed. So once again, I'm replacing my t with the x cubed, and I am then multiplying by the 3x squared. Now be aware, some people may want to write it as negative 5 over x cubed plus 2, the quantity cubed, multiplied by 3x squared. Now, this is an unsimplified answer, so you do need to be aware of that. And if we're working with multiple choice, a multiple choice question is definitely going to have the simplified version as our answer. If you are doing it on your own, since this is algebra and arithmetic, we can leave our answer like this for an open-ended FRQ style question, or fill in the blank. Let's go to number 8. We can clearly see we have a 3x up here. So we're looking at 2 times e to the 3x. Try that again. E to the 3x times 3. And I'm going to simplify that to 6e to the 3x as my answer. Number 10. That's x to the 4th. Just be aware that's an x to the 4th there. So I have 2x to the 4th, giving me 8x cubed. That's my derivative. Notice there's nothing in front of this e, so I'm going to go ahead and put 8x cubed e to the 2x to the 4th plus 2. And this is now my answer. Yes, we can always simplify. After all, we do have that plus 2, but without a multiple choice options, we don't know how far to go. So remember, when you're doing the AP test, you always want to look at the answers that are provided to see if it looks like what you got or whether you should simplify. We're now going to number 12. Now this is a little bit more difficult because it requires the chain rule. I am therefore looking at 4 times 3x to the 3rd power as my derivative. I'm going to have 1 over, and I'm going to put this inside, and it is cubed. So I have 3x to the 4th cubed times the 4 times 3x cubed. I'm now going to simplify it. 4 times 3x, the quantity cubed, divided by, and now I'm just going to leave it as 3x to the 12th and not try to simplify it. Now, I do have some options. After all, I just said I wasn't going to try to simplify it, but I could. After all, this power can subtract down below, and I would have 4 over 3x to the 9th power. Let's make sure that you can see that clearly as a 12. And by subtracting the power of 3 from the 12, I end up with 9. All right, so this is probably the answer for a pre-cal class, whereas this would be an answer for the AP class. Here is the, and that ends or concludes FTC number 2 from the worksheet number 3. I hope this has helped. If you felt this was a useful tool for you, please make sure you click like. If you have suggestions for me, please make sure you put those suggestions in under comments, and I'll try my best to honor what you say and try to employ your suggestions. Thank you very much, and please have a wonderful day, Hornets, and please take care. Remember, it's easy to be mean, so please try to work harder and be nice to each other. It's the only way our country is going to become a better country, is if we work together and we try to understand each other and from where we come from. That requires communication, it requires kindness, it requires friendship, friendliness, being nice to each other, listening, and trying to hear what people are saying as opposed to trying to filter it through something else that you're getting from some social media or even television. All righty. Thank you, everybody. Please be well. Bye-bye.